How much did you steal? Why were you using him?
You don't have anything to say? Nothing to say. Not to the victims? Not to the people you took money from?
How do you know the victim? Why did he do it? Was there any specific reason for it? What do you have to say? Is there anything you want to say? How much did you steal?
Mic check, 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 mic check. Oh, mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check. Y'all good?
Yeah.
You're good? You're good?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. My name is Camelia Juarez. I'm the PIO for the San Antonio Police Department, and the man that you just saw, the suspect is Austin Lopez. He is a 30-year-old. His SID number is 881377. Case number 23272698. Now, an elderly woman discovered that someone had purchased a car using her information. Now, Lopez's charges are fraud using the ID of an elderly person and exploitation of the elderly. So the victim began receiving car payment statements about a car that she did not purchase. When she went to the dealership, the sales manager said that they did recognize her name, but she was not there. She did not sign the papers, and she did not consent to signing the papers. Investigators believe that he claimed that she was a relative. She was not a relative, and that she wasn't able to sign for the car herself, and the suspect bought the car. So the car was a 2019 Audi valued at $21,000. When he was arrested today, he was found with some additional charges. He was found with He was found with a state ID with someone else's information and his own picture on it, and he was found with a check that did not belong to him. So those are additional charges. Those charges are going to be forgery and tampering with government documents. Now, when I was upstairs talking to detectives, they were saying that he is involved in several other investigations, so this is going to be one of many cases. There are more victims out there. So the dealership has their own policies and practices. They could be held criminally liable if we can prove that the suspect was working in partnership with the dealership. Investigators strongly advise you to stop leaving important documents in your car, right? Insurance papers, mail, receipts, credit cards, any of that. Somebody can break into your car, get that information, use that information to, commit fraud. Also, investigators encourage you to check your credit profile regularly. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know how old the elderly victim is?
Yes, ma'am. She was 74 years old. 74.
And when you say the dealership can be held liable, can you talk about that a little bit, or how that would work, or how they would be liable?
I don't know the process. I just know that, investigators would have to prove that they work together, that they have a partnership with this kind of fraudulent activity. At this time, it does not look like the dealership is involved. It's maybe their own policies and practices that would allow someone to sign for a car without the person actually there.
Is Mr. Lopez, did he have any history with the dealership? Is he an employee or anything there? So
Not to my knowledge.
You said there will be more investigations to him. Would you explain what are some of them?
Yeah, so it looks like when they were up there, they saw his name, and then they saw that he was a suspect in several other fraudulent investigations. And a lot of those fraud cases come from, they break into somebody's car, they get that information, and then use that information in other fraud cases.
And those investigations are here all in San Antonio? Or
Yes.
another?
Yes.
And did the other cases involve elderly victims as well?
Not to my knowledge.
So, is it fair to say that police believe that he was breaking into cars, stealing valid documents?
We can't say that. We have no evidence of that. We just know that he has other people's information and he's using it to buy in this case, a car.
Where did he come?
I'm not sure. Yeah, he was working. He was arrested, taken without incident.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
No, I think they were there.
Yeah, no worries. No, I got you. No, don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it. Okay, I'll even look at you. Also, hopefully in 6 months, I'm going to be able to do it in Spanish. I'm practicing, but I don't want to mess up. Okay, so I'll just start from the beginning and do it all over. So an elderly woman discovered that someone had purchased a car without her knowledge and used her information. The suspect is Austin Lopez. He is 30 years old. His SID number is 881377. The case number is 23272698. So Lopez is facing charges of fraud, using the ID of an elderly person, and exploitation of the elderly. So the victim began receiving car payment statements for a car that she did not purchase. So she went to the dealership and she found out that someone had used her information to buy the car. Allegedly, the suspect had claimed that the victim was his grandmother. It was not his grandmother. They're not related. And so that's why he claimed. I'm sorry. No, I'm good. So the victim went to the dealership. The dealership remembered her name, and they found out that she did not consent to buying the car. The suspect claimed that, he was her grandmother and that she was, too old to sign for the papers herself, and that's why they allowed her to sign for the papers. The car that was purchased was a 2019 Audi valued at $21,000. When he was arrested, he was found with a state ID with someone else's information and his own picture on it, and he was also found with a check that did not belong to him. When detectives learned about his arrest, they found out that he was a suspect in several other cases, and so there could be more charges pending. In terms of the dealership has their own policies and practices. They could be held criminally liable if we can prove that the dealership and the suspect were working in partnership. At this time, there's no evidence to prove that they were working in partnership. Investigators strongly advise you to stop leaving identifying documents in your car, insurance card, ID, receipts, mail, all of that stuff, because people can break into your cars, use that information, and commit other fraudulent crimes. Also, check your credit scores regularly.
What is the charges for this?
Yes. So the charges are going to be fraud using the ID of an elderly person and exploitation of the elderly.
Do you know how much she was stolen?
The car was valued at $21,000.
And he has another cases on it?
Yes, he has. Can't go into the specifics on those, but he is involved. He's a suspect in other cases.
And you have the total for another cases?
We don't have that information yet.
Do you guys happen to have the warrant number so we can case that?
So the case number should have the warrant. Does it not work like that?
Well, then, yeah, we have to have like
The affidavit should have.
Yeah, but I just wanted the number for the max number so I can request the warrant.
I don't have. I don't. Yeah.
She won't have it right
I
now.
won't have it on
Yeah,
me
we
right
won't have
now.
it right
Yeah, I guess I can try, but he hasn't been back yet, right? So
He was about to be mag, so
I would say give it like, 30 minutes, 2 hours.
yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
Of course.